Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today, I'm going to be doing a Druid Stone Circle. My group of adventurers are going into an ancient grove that's been long forgotten, and I'm about to kill them in there. Let's get. All right, so I grabbed the chunk of XPS foam, 3 inches thick, and I grabbed my knife, started carving it up. Now I put mine 2 inches big because I know when I whittle it down, it's gonna be less than that, and I still want minis to hide behind it and stuff for tactical play. And then this is just me. I have a mini on hand to kind of size it up and see if the chunk is right, and then start carving that chunk into smaller chunks. You can see the scraps on the side, but I knew that the legs were gonna get cut down. Now I supported mine with toothpicks, so I poked holes in it on either side before I stuck the toothpick in, and you can see the holes there. I also did it to the cross bracing too, and then I filled it up with tacky glue, stuck them in, and then prepared it for the cross bracing. Now, because the XPS foam that I originally worked with was a little beat up, I had to do minimal work. So, in its simplest form, these are extremely simple, and I'm sure most of you, can do this with ease. And if you're new to crafting, man, this is a great place to start also. All right. Now, for the next pieces, I did break out the Proxon, had some nice clean pieces of XPS foam, and then started carving them up. So here it is. Started covering the feet and just trying to get it dry fitting and everything. And then I would also do the sides. Now, I didn't have a sharp alpha knife, but that's okay because I kind of like how it brought out some extra, stone texture to the sides when I beveled it. And then here's the good old aluminum foil. Just crumple it up, roll it up. I was real rough on the edges. I wanted it to crack. My players are going through an ancient grove, and I wanted it to really look ancient and weathered. I did also do this to the piece that I tacky glued earlier. I did it off camera, and I really made sure to leverage it against the mat so that I wouldn't undo the tacky glue or anything. But the supports, they do a good job holding it up, so I wasn't too worried. Yeah, and then I went back to the toothpicks. This time I used hot glue, and you can see me there sharpening up one of the toothpick sides because it was flat. Now, before I did hot glue, I dry fitted it, and then I would know the direction that I dry fitted it before I hot glued it. Except for this leg right here, if you could catch it in fast motion, I actually knock it over and I lose the orientation. But it was all right because I knew that the hot glue would give me a little bit of time to work. So there it is, right there. All right, and then you see me twisting it up. That's it. So if I messed up, it's all right because I got my knife, I cut it up, and just eyeball it to try to get it to the best so it got a little lean to it, a little flavor. All right, so right here, I'm giving a little bit of weight to the ones that didn't have a base. Now, when I craft, I usually like to craft like 3 or 4 things of the same thing because you never know when you need it or whatever. And also, I like to give each one its own little variation so that you can find multiple ways to use it. For instance, on this build, I built 2 stones with a base, beveled, and 2 stones without. Now, what you see here are the 2 stones without. And what I wanted to do again was give it some weight. Oh, snap. The lights went out. Oh, yeah, that's right. I remember. All right, well, that threw me off. So, got punch in. And I forgot what I was saying. Anyway, we'll move on. Black bomb. That's it. Give it all black. And then I went in for the pewter gray. Now, in case anybody's wondering, not sure if anybody is. Anyway, I chose pewter gray because when I started crafting, I was watching all the guys, DM Scotty, DMG, BMC, Wylock, Runehammer, and I was crafting along with them. They all use pewter gray. I use pewter gray. Now, since then, a lot of rock coloration and color schemes have come up and they look great, but I want mine to be uniform across the spectrum, and I'm going to stick with the pewter gray. Very simple, very easy. That's how I got started. Now, I use the brush to kind of get in those crevices where the sponge couldn't get. Now I'm using a real beat up brush. I mean, this thing is taking abuse. It's damaging the bristles and everything. And I mean, I'm just abusing it to the point where it might call the cops on me. That's how bad it is. All right, jokes aside, here I'm gonna start doing the dry brushing. Now, one thing I like to do with dry brushing is, after loading the paint up and wiping most of it off, I like to pick a spot, or at least start at a spot that is not really noticeable, either like the bottom of it or a top or an inside or something like that. And the reason for it is because when you first hit your piece with that dry brush, it seems to be the thickest, or you get the most paint on that area. And, something like that right there. So I like to pick a spot that's not really noticeable, nothing in the middle, because that's really where the most of the focus is going to be. And then after that first hit, that dry brush will go on really nice. As you guys know, it's hard to mess up after that first hit. All right. So now I'm going to throw some sand on it. And I know that I painted it brown, and I could have done that after I sanded it, but I didn't really know I was going to sand it until later. And that's all right. So just scooping up the rest of the sand, not too much, sprinkled it in. And then I watered down that brown so that it would go right into the crevices of the sand and stick all nice. I didn't do, it's not a wash. It's just a little bit of water in the brown. And then some flocking. I mean, this is just detailing how you want, basically. I had one bin for the fine grass, and then I had a little bit for the lichen, and I just kind of dressed it up as I see fit. All right, now these sticks are from some decorative piece, so I just swabbed them in the tacky glue, and then I poked them through the XPS floor, and then I covered up that with the lichen. Now, last thing I do is some flocking up the sides. And that's it, just more flocking. The tacky glue is nice for that because it hugs the whatever you put in there. And then I just do some more decorative pieces and stuff like that. And then just some extra detailing. I mean, I tend to get lost when I do detailing. I go a little overboard sometimes, I think. Sometimes simpler is better. Tomato, tomato. Phase 4, split it in twine. I went ahead and unraveled that, and I only need a little bit because I'm going to break it down into 3, so I really get triple that length there. And this is me unraveling it. All right, and then I went to go ahead and paint it with a Kelly green. I just wanted it to contrast from the flocking and the lichen. And there's no rhyme or reason to how I'm painting it. I'm just kind of dabbing it in here. Now I went with a darker green now too, just to add up some variation to it. I always try to bring at least 2 to 3 colors in everything I do. It just gives it a natural feel. And there's no rhyme or reason again to me doing it. Look, I just treat it like spaghetti here. And then went with a light green. I think this one was fern green. I'm not sure which one it's from. And there's my spaghetti mix. Damn, now unravel it and let it dry. It's that easy. Ain't nothing to it but to do it. Now for making magic. I went ahead and went with the tacky glue again. Tacky glue is nice and thick, and if you apply a good amount of it, it kind of hugs whatever you place in it. And that's what I kind of needed because I knew this was going to sort of be free floating here. Now, I went ahead and traced the line out with the tacky glue, and then I kind of bent the vine or the vine twine to it, snipped off the end, and kept it moving. Again, later on towards my last pieces, I realized that you don't really got to be too adherent to the laws of nature. You can actually start from one leg, just wrap it all the way up, do your twists and turns, and then come down the other leg. And it really does give that appearance of multiple twines or that the whole thing is covered. Because really, unless really someone's paying attention, they're really not going to notice, I don't think. Unless it's my players and they really found out I just said that. And phase 5, go ahead and put that 50-50 water glue. Open up that nozzle and start spraying it up. Get everything, get everything. Spray on that glue. Make it do what it do. Now, you might see after you apply this, if you do choose to do this build, that this glue spray kind of reactivates attacker glue. Don't worry about that. It's all going to dry up real nice. That's it, guys. I like how this came out, man. Really like how it came out. I mean, I usually don't kick bragger raps, but I really like it. So I hope you guys like it too. All right. All right, guys. Well, that's it for today. That's it for the video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope it adds something to your table. I hope you get something out of it, not just a little bit. If you're new to crafting, I hope this inspires you to take a try at it, man, because it's really easy, and that's what I really hope to give back to people, is just the incentive and the knowledge to say, yo, I could do that too, because that's how I began. I said, yo, I could do that too. Let's kick into the outro stuff. So, Twitter, come follow me or come holler at me, whichever you guys want, and just talk. I love talking shop with you guys, and just anything, man, anything. Facebook, I'm on Facebook, and Instagram, Craftniks. That's it. Come holler at me, come talk. Leave some comments below, maybe some things you might want to see moving down the road. When I craft for things that I need for the session, so that's what motivates my crafts. Right now, my group is going into an ancient grove, so I'll be doing some Druid stuff moving forward. And then as soon as my sci-fi group kicks in, I'll be switching gears and doing that. Come holler at your boy. That's it. All right, guys. Catch you on the next one.